We stay sizzling hot in the MLB on a 30-11 run, and we got a 4-game slate. Let's talk some baseball. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back in to another episode for Just a Bet Outside. I am your host, Steven. First of all, the Mariners won, so I'm in a good mood. And also, how about a 2-0 day? This run has been a lot of fun. I'll say that. This is awesome. We got our last 4-game slate of the MLB season, but we'll go over the recap in just a little bit. What happened yesterday? We are other than 30-11, also nice 13-3 in the playoffs. So, as you guys know, though, any graphics you see in this video are from OUTLIER, the best betting research tool on the market today. Click that link below. You get a 7-day free trial. Let's get right into it. And we get a little dad joke for you here on a Wednesday. So here we go. What do you call a plane full of bald people? Receding airlines. Alrighty, in this video, we're going to recap yesterday, and then we're going to go over the good and bad hitter matchups, the best pitcher strikeout matchups, the 4-game pitcher report, and of course, we'll finish it with the best bets and the recap. So hit that like button if you haven't already. Leave a comment below to help this channel continue to grow. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come join this awesome community. I'm ready to keep the good times rolling, and that means it's recap time. All right, there it is, a 2-0 day. Mariners on the money line. They came out swinging. That #1 road offense we talked about, they came out ready to play. Nice to see some home runs. Finally, we live or die by those sometimes, but got 3 of them. 8-1. Ferguson blew it in the 9th and ended up being 8-4. But either way, easy win there by the M's. We are now 1 game away from the ALCS. I am jacked up, but still got some work to do. So, Blue Jays team total over 1.5 in the first 5. We had a break in the Mariner game. I flipped over to the Blue Jays. 2 pitches later, Vlad hits a 2-run bomb in the first, cashed that, back to the Mariner game. It was beautiful. I don't know how the Blue Jays blew that game. That was insane after being up 6-0. I believe that was their lead, but either way, they're playing game 4 now. But we went 2-0 series updates. We went 2-0 in the wild card round. We got Brewers to win the series, already up 2-0 in the series, 1 more win. And the Mariners minus 1.5 games. After losing game 1, this is still alive. They have to win on Wednesday to cash this minus 1.5 games plus 140 bet. So there it is. There's the run. Playoff record up 5.43 units. Let's keep it going. But first, we start with the hitter matchups. We got 17 good hitter matchups for you today, starting with Yelich, 13 for 37, a couple Jimmy Jacks off of Jameson Taillon. You see Mookie Betts there, a couple home runs off Nola. Jorge Polanco, the Game 2 hero, 6 for 14 with 2 home runs off Casey Mize. You keep going down the list. How about Jackson Chirios, 7 for 13 off Taillon. Rhys Hoskins, obviously not an everyday player, but 3 home runs off him. Kike Hernandez, the playoff guru, 4 for 11, 3 home runs off of Nola. And then you go over there on the right side, Andrew Vaughn, who hit a huge home run in game 2 in the first inning. But you got him, Riley Green, 2 for 6. These are not great, 2 for 6, 3 for 6. But Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the man is sizzling hot. How about 4 for 5 off Cam Schlittler? He's a problem, that's for sure. But anyways, take a screenshot. That's what we got for the good hitter matchups. Now, let's go to the bad hitter matchups. Conforto, not a big one. Obviously, not an everyday player. 19 Ks, though. William Contreras, 4 for 24, 4 Ks off Taillon. You see Max Muncy, 4 for 24, 11 Ks off Nola. Getting jiggy with it, 2 for 20, 6 Ks off of him. Again, Nola's not in the best form. We'll talk about that more later. But Edman, 1 for 19, but 0 Ks. And Joey Ortiz, 2 for 11 with 1 strikeout off Taillon. So that's what we got for the good and the bad hitter matchups. Now let's talk some Ks. All right, there it is. We got 1 good pitcher strikeout matchup, and it is the man, the myth, the legend, Yamamoto versus the Phillies. Phillies, 10th highest K rate versus righties last 3 weeks, 25.3%. Yamamoto, 201 Ks in 173.2 innings, but he has been absolutely electric lately. 7+ Ks in 6 straight starts. He has 53 Ks in that stretch over 40.2 innings. He has almost identical home road K splits, almost identical righty-lefty K splits. Why? Because he's just flat out good. He faced the Phillies way back in April 4th, 5 Ks, 6 innings. I really don't care what happened in April, to be honest with you, but just want to point that out. Other note, other high strikeout pitcher on the slate, Cam Schlittler, going against the Jays. You guys already know. Not only are they low against lefties, they are really low against righties. 3rd lowest K rate, 18.8%. He faced Toronto twice this season. He has 5 Ks in 6.2 innings. So that's what we got for the Ks. Now let's take a look at the pitcher report. All right, here is the 4-game slate for Wednesday. We start out with Bryce Miller versus Casey Mize. Miller, my goodness, I'm not going to lie, I'm worried. because he is not very good. 5.68 ERA, see the same expected ERA, only 90 innings, but the whip hasn't been good. The Ks, everything. It's just not pretty. Giving up 3 to 4 earned runs in 4 straight starts. If Wu was not hurt, he would not be pitching. I'll tell you that. But Casey Mize, he has been better since September 1st, actually. If you guys remember, he had a great first half of the year and then really struggled after the break. I think it was after an injury, too. And then in September, settled down a little bit. 3.5 ERA, 1.09 whip. K rate also 28% since the start of September. So he has been pitching a little bit better. Priester versus Taillon in Chicago as the Cubbies hang on for their life. Priester, we talked about him last game because we thought he was going to throw after Ashby, but he did not. He has given up 2 or less earned runs in 6 of his last 7 starts, and Brewers have won like 19 straight of his starts. It's unbelievable. Jameson Taillon, been solid lately, giving up 2 or less earned runs in 8 straight, including 4 shutout innings versus the Padres last round. Eric Lauer. Now, I think it's going to be Lauer. I've seen it a few places, and I also seen TBD. So, again, just wait to see who is throwing for Toronto. But he's going up against Schlittler. I think Lauer's only good for a couple innings here. Based on his recent appearances, he hasn't been throwing, 5-inning starts like he was earlier in the year. And then Schlittler coming off an absolute dominant win-or-go-home game against Boston with 9 shutout innings. Unbelievable. Or maybe it was 8. I don't know I don't remember. But giving up 1 or less earned run now in 4 of his last 5 starts. He's got a tough matchup here, but he has been good. Aaron Nola versus Yamamoto. We're going to talk about this one a little bit more lately, but, I mean, it's not even close. Look at the numbers at who the advantage is. Obviously, the Phillies fighting for their life, though. You never know what to get from a team when they're one more loss and they're out. But anyways, that's what we got for the 4-game pitcher report. Take a screenshot. Hopefully, these have helped you out all season long. But now it is time for the best bets. All right, this first one takes us out to Wrigley Field, where the Cubbies host the Milwaukee Brewers. Cubs moneyline -123, Brewers moneyline +102 with a total of 7 runs. I got a player prop. Give me Jameson Taillon over 10.5 outs recorded, -105 on BetMGM for a half unit. Now, when you have a team in the Cubs fighting for their lives, taking an over outs prop on their pitcher when they're all hands on deck, it can be a little scary. I get it, but I like him to pitch well here. So let's talk Mr. Taillon. He has given up just 6 earned runs in his last 34.1 innings. This guy has been solid. Just 24 hits also in those 34.1. One of those starts was against this Brewers team at home. He gave up 5 hits and 1 earned run in 6 innings. Now, obviously, 6 innings in the regular season and outs props. I could say he went over this 100% of the time. That's not why I'm betting it, because playoffs are a lot different. But he did struggle versus Milwaukee way back in June. He is in much better form now. He's been solid at home. 3.05 ERA, 2.04 average against, and an elite .92 whip. With wind blowing in here, that's right, we got some wind blowing in, hence the really low total. I like him to pitch well. Now, the Brewers offense, I have talked for the last 2 games how incredible this offense is. They are, but you know what? They're incredible when they are at home and they are versus lefties, mostly versus lefties, but they had both of those in the first 2 games. They faced Matthew Boyd and Shota Imanaga in the first 2 games. Again, those are pitchers they've crushed already. They're 2 lefties. In the last 3 weeks, though, and you've seen it all season long, not just last 3 weeks, but they go from the top offense versus lefties to 19th WRC plus versus righties. And now they face a good righty, not just that, on the road. So they're a little worse on the road, and they're worse versus righties with wind blowing in. I thought about a full game under here, maybe a Brewers team total under, but that's a little scary. Maybe they go off off the bullpen or something. But either way, I like this a lot more. I just need 2 outs in the 4th inning. The Cubs are not in a rush to get to their bullpen if he's pitching well, obviously. So give me Taillon over 10.5 outs recorded as my first best bet. All right, this next one takes us out to LA where the Dodgers host the Phillies. Dodgers moneyline -186, Phillies moneyline +151 with a total of 8 runs. I'm not going to overthink this. Give me the Dodgers -1 at -130 on DraftKings. If you want to go 1.5 at plus money, I don't mind that either. I'm going to play it safe here. Eliminating a team is not easy. You're getting their best effort, you would assume. Maybe they're deflated and they roll over. We'll see. But I just do not see how Aaron Nola and the Phillies beat Yamamoto here. So let's talk the starting pitcher matchup. Obviously, Nola and Yamamoto. But Nola, I've said it all season. He is flat out not very good. I said it near the end of the regular season that he is not a playoff pitcher. Well, they need him. They need him to throw. Obviously, no Zach Wheeler and all that. But he wasn't good before the injury, and he's been awful since his return. He finished the season with a solid 8-inning shutout versus the Twins. That doesn't convince me at all. He gave up 10 earned runs and 13 hits in the prior 2 starts. In fact, since his return from injury, he's given up 29 earned runs in 44.2 innings. He leaves a lot of pitches over the plate and is giving up a lot of hard contact. He faced the Dodgers way back in April, gave up 7 hits and 3 earned runs in 6 innings. Again, that doesn't mean anything to me at all. Just want to point that out. Yamamoto, there is nothing more to say. This man has become the most unhittable starting pitcher in the majors right now. 11 hits allowed in his last 33.2 innings. Think about that. Let that soak in. 1 hit every 3 innings. That doesn't make sense. Just 2 earned runs also in the stretch of 33.2 innings. That's right. 2 earned runs and 33 innings. Even in a bad game recently in the regular season when he had 6 walks, still gave up 1 hit and 0 earned runs. This man is unbelievable right now. You saw his swing and miss stuff earlier in the pitcher K matchups. He faced the Phillies way back on April 4th, 6 shutout innings, giving up 3 hits. Nice to see he dominated them, but again, it's in April. It doesn't matter much to me. Offenses, Dodgers are rolling right now. You see it. Phillies offense has been worse on the road this season. And in fact, their big studs right now are just struggling. Turner, Schwartz, and Harper. How about 2 for 24 in this series? I don't see them all of a sudden breaking out versus Yamamoto. Maybe they do, but versus a guy that's just not giving up any hard contact or hits, it's hard to imagine. But bullpen, I can trust the Dodgers bullpen a little bit more. We've been making fun of them all season long, but this is not the same bullpen. In the playoffs, they realize, you know what, we got a lot of good starting pitcher arms. Why don't we just throw them out of the bullpen? Sheehan, Tyler Glasnow has thrown out of the bullpen already. Roki Sasaki has really solidified the closing role. It's just not the same. I'm not saying they're all of a sudden the best bullpen there is, but it's definitely a lot more trustworthy. And if the Dodgers just win by 1 here, we take the push and move on. That's fine. But I do think they cruise here. You know, again, when it comes to the bullpen, I did want to mention Yamamoto. He's juiced very heavily to go at least 6 innings. So this man could give you 6, 7 innings. We might only need 1 or 2 innings out of the bullpen. So I think the Dodgers get to Aaron Nola. I don't think the Phillies really get to the Yamamoto. So I like the Dodgers to cruise here. Give me the -1 as my second best bet. This third one takes us out to the Bronx where the Yankees host the Toronto Blue Jays. The Yankees on the money line -182. Bluebirds on the money line +149 with a total of 8.5 runs. I'm going to go to that total. Give me the over 8.5. I got it at +100 actually on FanDuel for a half unit. I was hoping to get an 8 somewhere. It was like -135. That's just too juicy for a total for me. So probably my third favorite bet out of these 3, but I still do like this one. So let's talk starting pitcher matchup. One side's a little tricky. I've seen Eric Lauer, like we talked about earlier in the video. I've also seen Varland just pop up recently while I'm writing this and finishing the video. So either way, they're going to throw like an inning. They're going up against Cam Schlittler. So Lauer, again, like I said, it might be not Verlander, but it might be Varland. He just gave up. Varland just pitched in Game 3, gave up 2 earned runs in 1 inning. So either way, it's going to be somewhat of a bullpen game. I don't know the exact plan, to be honest with you, but I'm really not too worried about it because it's no dominant starting pitchers or anything coming in. Those 2 guys can get hit up, but the Blue Jays bullpen will play a big role here, and they're super taxed after yesterday's game. They just threw Fluharty, I don't know how to say his name, Varland, Fisher, Little, Rodriguez, and Nance. They threw a lot of guys. And this Yankees offense, they've already hit them really well. You just saw it in Game 3, and their offense at home could explode at any given moment. Now, Cam Schlittler, this is the reason why the total's, staying a little bit lower. Yes, he has looked good this season, but he's not completely unhittable. This total, I think, is a little bit low, kind of a sell high spot for him just because of his start versus Boston. And listen, it was a great start. A rookie in a winner-go-home against Boston, dominated. This is still a guy who gave up 4 earned runs in 2 of his last 5 starts. And oh, by the way, one of those was a 4 earned run start versus this exact same Toronto Blue Jays team. He only lasted 1.2 innings, giving up 5 hits and 4 earned runs to Toronto. That was also at home in New York. So this Blue Jays team knows him a bit, has had success. And then offenses, again, I think there's multiple ways we could get there. I could see the Yanks doing the heavy lifting here. Maybe they just crush Lauer in this bullpen game and get us 6-7 runs on their own or something. But I can also see both teams possibly scoring 4+. I actually like the Jays team total over 3.5. But we all know these are 2 of the best offenses in the league. We got guys up and down the lineups that can hit home runs. Vlad and Aaron Judge are scorching hot right now. So bullpens, I already talked about the Jays already. Yanks are a bit taxed as well. They did pitch in Game 3 pretty well, but they've struggled all season. We know that. They have not been a bullpen that you can usually trust. So we have winds blowing out around 8 miles an hour to right field. I already have a short porch there. It's right field-ish, I'll say right now. A little bit sideways, a little bit right field. But either way, decent weather enough for runs with 2 great offenses and 2 pitchers that I think can get hit up a little bit. So give me the over 8.5. That is my third and final best bet. That is correct. I don't have a bet in my Mariners versus the Detroit Tigers. If I had a lean in that one, it would be the over as well. We got wind blowing out and 2 pitchers that I do not trust at all. So the over is my lean there. But just the 3 best bets with all the research help. Before we get out of here, let's check out the recap. All right, there it is. My three best bets. Jameson Taillon over 10.5 outs at -105 on BetMGM. The Dodgers -1 at -130, and the over 8.5 in the Toronto Yankees game at +100. Again, if you're just now fast forwarding to this, I don't have a bet in the Tigers Mariners game. That game got delayed yesterday till nighttime, and now they have to turn around and play right away at 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific. It's a quick turnaround. Two pitchers I don't trust. The only lean I would have would be the over 8.5 in that game, but I'm going to stay away. So that's what we got for the best bets. Thank you guys for watching. As always, hit that like button if you haven't already. But let's stay hot in the MLB playoffs. Hope you guys enjoy the games. Have a great Wednesday, and we'll talk to you soon.